Hello, welcome to the Y-shape. My name is Hurrle. The Y-shape is the formation of the shaft left arm and the right arm, as you can see, and we're going to add a square club face now. Okay, so we're going to set up to the golf ball in a Y-shaped position, and hopefully we're going to hit the ball in the Y-shaped position. Of course, other than the hips are going to be cleared a little bit. So the idea of the Y-shaped swing is to never change this position. We're always going to try to maintain this structure during the swing. So if we just move back and forth a little bit here, you can see that I'm always maintaining this Y-shaped structure. From waist height to the tops of the swing, of course we have to raise the arms and hinge the wrists, but we're going to do so in such a way that we don't change this structure. So we're just going to raise up here on the backswing, and we're going to go through on the follow through, and when we do this, the shaft left arm stays in line and the face remains square. So this is kind of an unboxing of the Y-shaped swing, and let me explain this to you. So we're going to start with the Y-shape, and now we're going to turn back. Notice everything turns together. Go ahead and let the hips go. I've maintained this Y-shape. The hands have gone fairly level with the ground, and in this position I'm not extending my arms out. That would be changing the Y-shape. So the arms are extended when we address the ball. Just maintain that same extension going back. To the top of the backswing, we're going to hinge the wrists, turn the shoulders obviously, go right up to the top. I want the shoulders and hands and club all stopping at the same time. So a good backswing is a turn, a fairly hinged, a fairly strong left arm, and we've got a 90-degree hinge with the wrists. Okay, so I've maintained the Y. Now I'm going to come down following the hips. I'm just going to pull right on down, holding this 90-degree angle that we had at the top of the swing. As I do this, I'm trying to get I want the feeling as though the shoulders are going to maintain their position. So it's almost an independent feeling with the hips and the arms and the club coming right down. From here, I'm going to maintain the Y and simply turn through the ball. Notice when I did this, so whenever you practice the Y-shaped swing, when I did this, the head of the club stayed up in the air. It's going to drop on its own anyway. I'll go through more of that in a little bit. The hips are turning, the club follows right on around. Notice I'm not extending out. Okay, I still have the same extension that I had when I started. The hands work fairly level with the ground, going through, and then of course we go right up to the top of the swing. I still have my Y facing the target. I'm on balance. Okay, so that would be the basic position by position moves. Now of course the idea is to blend these moves together, so it's maintain the Y, go up to the top, I've got the Y, I've got the Y, I've got the Y, okay, and I'm always relating the club to the body. I can always see this shape during my swing. When you practice this, go ahead, watch the club, watch your arms, get the feeling, try to get the structure down, okay. Okay, notice the Y is always present. Okay. Right. Now a couple of things to help you, for instance, going back from this point in the swing, you want to feel very dominant with that left wrist. As I said before, at this point the shoulders are really not halfway turned, they're about 3/4 turn. So from this point, we've got really more of an arm swing than anything else. And the left wrist hinge, it almost feels like your left wrist is pulling the rest of your body around. That's how dominant you want it to feel. So dominant that at the halfway back point, all right, you kind of want to feel like the shaft is up in the air, like your hands are fully hinged already at this point. So if we look at the structure there, but we actually add the wrist hinge a little sooner and try to feel like the shaft is up in the air at this point. It really probably won't be, but unless you feel like this, you're not going to get hinged soon enough. So we don't want to hinge late. We always want to hinge a little early. Okay. The through the ball move, from waist high to waist high, you want this Y shape to be very, very tight. You're going to get some nice consistent hits with it, good solid contact with it if you maintain this shape throughout the shot. Notice how tight I am from here to halfway through. There's really no arm swinging or flopping of the arms going through the ball. The arm swing is more in this area. Now I'm going to be tight. There. Now my arms are raised and the wrists hinge. So you kind of want to feel like tight and swing. Okay. So that would be maybe a vision that you want to have. In addition, we always want to try to feel where is impact, where's the ball, and so on. Whenever you're practicing your swing, try to sense impact as being right out here, where the shaft left arm is just outside the left leg. There, boom, that's impact. And this will give you a feeling of going through the ball. It's a little bit more surety through the shot and gives you a little bit more power also. So impact is always there. Every shot, chipping, putting, sand, boom, there's impact. And you're going to be a little bit better through the shot. And lastly, going through the ball, this move through the ball is always a little bit mysterious. So maybe I can help you with that a little bit. Take the club up to the top of the backswing. Okay. And what we're trying to do now is feel an around move. So up to the top, maybe about 3/4 back. All right. Now just simply turn right around flat as you go through. Notice I'm maintaining this Y shape. Everything is turning. Okay. Body has to turn, otherwise the Y shape breaks down. So I'm about 3/4 going right on around. Okay. Now drop the club down a little further. So okay. Around, up, and drop further down, around, up. Okay. You can see where I'm going with this, I think. All right. Now just a regular swing, up. Okay. And this will give you the feeling of going around through the ball. We always tend to go down the line at the target, and that's really not what we want to do. So to get a little better feeling of this around move, and of course, once we start going around, right about here, this is where the right side comes in and gives us a good amount of power. So you want to use this right side power, but you want to use it properly. And when we go through the ball, you want to feel like you're going around without changing the shaft left arm alignment. Now this is the trick in applying power. So take the right hand and put it about halfway down the shaft. Right, now we're going to do the same thing from about 3/4. Okay, go right on around. Now what the right hand, the right arm, the whole right side of the body is doing is actually pushing the side of the shaft. We're not messing with the head. The head knows what to do. The head's going to swing. So we're going to take this right hand and just push right on around. Okay. Now bring it down. Okay. You can really feel that right side. Okay. Bring it down a little further. Oops. Around. And now we bring it down to here. So now you can really feel the right side kicking in. If you're swinging this club around, as we do, fairly quickly, because of the weight of the club head, the dynamics of this are going to be one where the club head is going to lag a little bit coming in, and then of course it's going to kick a little bit after impact, and that's what we're looking for. That's the swinging action of the club. So give yourself a little practice with this. Around, up, down, around, up, and this is just the golf swing. Okay. Down, around, up. Okay, so that might help you go through the ball. Okay. From this angle, we're going to take and move the Y. Everything moves together back to about halfway. Notice the shaft and the left arm is still in line and the face is still square. So I've got my Y, and at this point notice that the shoulders are actually not halfway back, they're more like 3/4 turn. Going to the top, we go right up to that open right shoulder. Good solid left wrist hinge. Notice the shaft and left arm is in line. The left arm is dominant and the right is submissive, and I can feel that shaft right on that left thumb. So I know the club is nice and square back there. All right. And again, I've got a full turn. Now I'm going to try to hold the shoulders as the hips start, and I'm going to pull right down, holding the 90-degree angle. And again, I feel like I'm still facing this direction. As I pull down, the shoulders are going to move anyway, but this prevents, if the shoulders turn, then you're going to tend to get out of plane. So we come right down to this point, and now from here, we just turn right on through the shot. The hips keep turning, the club head follows the hips right on around in an arc. The face of the club is going to rotate with the turn of the body, and the butt end of the grip is actually going to keep pointing right at the left hip area. Those 2 points coordinate. So all I'm doing is maintaining this Y shape through the shot. That's as simple as that. And now, of course, we go right up to the top. I'm in plane over the left shoulder. Club face is square. I feel it on my left thumb, facing the target, on balance. Okay? If we blend this in, notice the Y is always intact. The Y, the Y, the Y. Okay. Now a couple of things as far as from this angle. I think people are always worried about am I taking the club too far inside or outside, or is the face opening and closing properly? Well, if you maintain the Y shape, you don't really have to think that way. Okay, so merely by maintaining this Y, as I'm showing you, the path of the club is going to be correct versus the target line, and the face of the club is going to open properly. Going through the ball, it's the same thing. Maintain the Y, we've got the correct path and the face. So as far as swing plane is concerned, all you have to do really is just turn and go right up to that shoulder, and you've got your swing plane. So you relate the club to the body, don't relate the club to the target line. Turn and go right up to that shoulder. You're in plane. From here, you turn and go right up to the open shoulder, and again you're in plane. So this is how you can think of plane when you're standing out hitting balls. You don't need a camera or anything else. Okay. Now, the move through the ball is the difficult part. So coming down and going through is really frustrates everybody. And what this is actually is this is two distinct moves. It's a vertical move dropping down, and then it's a horizontal move through the ball. It's not just one move. We're going to come right down straight at the ball. It's actually two moves, drop, and then around. So now don't blame me. I did not invent this game. I'm just the messenger. So, but I think I can help you out here. Okay. First of all, you want to imagine that there's maybe a table sitting out in front of you, a curved table. So when you come down, now right about here, the height of the table is the height of the shaft. So the shaft now is sitting flush on the table. So now we're just going to scrape the shaft right around on that table. Drop down, flush on the tabletop right here, and now we're just going to scrape the shaft on around. Now the club head, this is the vision that you want. Now the club head is going to drop on its own. So if we, the head's going to drop down on its own. Now to try to get that feeling, take the club to about 3/4, and the vision you want to have is this, but when you actually swing the club without stopping, add a little bit of speed without stopping, the head's going to drop down. Now, if you can't get this feeling, try it just with the left arm. All right, and so we're going to go back to about 3/4. All right, take the right hand off. Now drop down about halfway and turn, and then come up. And this is your vision now when you hit the ball in all shots. Okay, but now if you don't stop at this point and you add a little bit of speed, see the head drop down. Now I did not push the head down. My vision was here, here, and here. Okay, so without stopping. Okay, see that? Now once you do this exercise, perform it, and you realize that the head is going to drop anyway, now you can apply your power and all your energy to going around instead of down. So anytime you push the head down, of course, to the ball, then you're going to break down. So this is a good way to maintain the Y shape through the shot. It's a good way to maintain that shaft left arm alignment through the ball for solid hits. Use this on the golf course. It's a great exercise to use on the golf course. Other people might, if you use it as a practice swing, here's your vision. Okay, that's what you're thinking about, but you're actually going to do it, okay, and let the head drop. Now, other people could maybe look at you and think you're just waving the club around, but you're actually performing this exercise. Now you want to take the same feeling that you had in the exercise, okay, and the same vision, and when you hit the ball, this is your vision. Scrape it along the table, all right. Now when you hit the ball, without stopping, the club head is going to drop down on its own. This is my best exercise, my best a picture of how to go through the shot. So it's a down and a round move, not one move. So practice this exercise. This is really a good one to give yourself a little feeling of how to go through the ball. Okay. Okay, and in summary now, all you have to do is maintain this Y shape to play your best golf. And the Y shape is going to give you everything you want. It's going to give you all the basics of the swing. And what are the basics? Well, first of all, the golf club has to swing. And you can see, if I just maintain the shape the club head is swinging, my arms are swinging, I've got a nice swinging action through the shot. Number 2 is the golf club swings in a plane, and we just talked about that. If you turn and go right up to the shoulder, if you turn, go up to the shoulder here, you're going to be in plane, all right? And of course the club face, if the club face is always in the same position relative to your body, wherever you look at that club face during your swing, it should always be in that square position, and you'll be able to feel it on your left thumb. Feel it on your left thumb. The benefit of gripping the club perfectly is that once you can feel these 2 square positions at the top, then of course the club face has got to square up at the ball, so you don't even have to aim it. Okay. Look for the Y shape and the best players on television. Everybody looks a little different swinging the club, but if you look for just one thing, if you look for the Y shape, you're always going to see it. There might be very slight variations. There's variations in the way people walk, and in something as complex as the golf swing, no two are going to be alike. But if you look for the Y shape, you'll see it, and this will give you a little bit more confidence in this type of method. Now you know what to look for. If you videotape yourself, you can see where you are. If you look for the Y shape, you can see if you're off one way or another with the shaft, or the face is off. You can see where your problem lies. And and I have my book for sale on my Y shape, the Y shape, theyyshape.com. It's $10. Goes through in detail, much more detail than I've gone through today as far as what we're looking for here. And good luck. This is a great game. Maintain the Y shape, and peace.